So basically, looking at the comprehension paper today, the main gripe of students actually is the paper 2, the comprehension paper. The reason being, it tests a whole range of skills that are difficult to grasp sometimes for students, and they are increasing the difficulty as the syllabus has gone by through the years, adding more sections such as the application question, which of course students find difficult to grasp. So first, let's look at the 3 skills that the paper will address. The first is the attention to details, which is tested in your short answer questions. The second is your synthesis skills, which is in your summary questions. And the third is your application and evaluation, tested in your application question. So first, looking at short answer questions, there are 3 main types of questions: the literal, the inferential, and the language question. So the literal question is basically testing your paraphrasing skills, your ability to identify the points and paraphrase them in your own words. The inferential question, which is primarily more difficult for most students, tests your ability to extrapolate information from the text and based on the clues that are given, and to formulate your own opinions on what the writer is saying about a certain issue or a topic. The third one, the language question, is a little bit more structured, so as to give more students, even with weaker language abilities, an equal chance, a better chance of improving their grade. Basically tests on the linguistic devices such as punctuation, irony, metaphors, and things like that. The second component, the summary question, basically requires you to do 2 main things. The first is to identify your points, and the second is to paraphrase. So it's pretty straightforward enough. You need to identify the main arguments of the passage, and the second is to paraphrase in your own words. But the main challenge here is to retain the meaning. That is what students normally struggle with. The reason being that sometimes when you read the passage, you understand what is being said in their words, but to truly comprehend, you need to be able to put it in your own words and to have the same level of accuracy, which is often lost in the paraphrasing process. And so this is one of the main challenges which prevails throughout both sections, both in the paraphrasing of the literal question as well as the paraphrasing in your summary question. So the third part, in your application question, is basically the 3 main requirements: the reference to text, the evaluation, and the explanation or example. The reference to text is basically testing your ability to engage the writer's arguments. After doing that, what you need to do is not just engage it, you engage it by making a judgment of what the writer says. Is it right or wrong? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And after that, you have to explain it in the context, often in your own country, it can be in your generation, it can be in an international scale. And so these are the 3 things, the main argument that you have to put together in each coherent paragraph. And then the last bit is the coherent section, which basically requires you to link all these arguments across the passage in 2 pages to meld cohesively together to become one piece of writing. And so the main challenge here is often in evaluating, making a judgment on the writer's views. Students are often not comfortable in dealing with someone else's views, in criticizing it or in supporting it. And so that's one of the main challenges that students face. And so this is very necessary. It's a very important skill that students need to face because they face information every day. And so they need to be able to know how to judge it, and as well they need to know how it relates to them, the society, the generation, and their culture. And so that's basically what the comprehension passage is about, what it tests you on, the modes of testing, and the requirements of each question. Thank you. Thank you for viewing this presentation. I hope you enjoyed the clip. I hope it's been most beneficial to you, and I hope you've learned and what the students go through, what you need to do in order to push your grade up, to enjoy, to benefit the most, and to get the most out of your education in the subject.